The ABC 17 Storm Track weather team has issued a weather alert day spanning from Thursday morning all the way until Friday afternoon, as we're going to be tracking dangerous heat back into the region. Now, the same heat and the same reasoning that we're going to be seeing that caused that heat index up to 115 degrees down in Texas is going to be sliding off to the northeast back towards mid-Missouri, and that's actually prompted a heat advisory that's going to be in effect until 7 p.m. as we head off into Friday afternoon. All counties in mid-Missouri going to be underneath that heat advisory except for Macon, as they're going to be tracking that front just off to the north. So going to see some temperatures kind of keeping it a little bit more at bay up there. Now, here in central Missouri, you're going to want to get out the first half of the day if you have the opportunity. So by 10 a.m., if you have any outdoor plans, it might be better to go ahead and move those back indoors and maybe just wait to walk the dog until the overnight hours, as temperatures are going to be dangerously hot, with the actual temperature topping out at 102. And the feels like temperature with the heat index up to 107 degrees by 4 p.m. Still close to that 105 degree mark at 7 p.m. But the sun starts to set. It's going to still feel pretty humid, though, as we head throughout the overnight hours. But if you are going to be outdoors anytime between about 1 p.m. to 7, you're going to want to make sure you have plenty of sunscreen and plenty of water on hand. Now, we're not done just yet with that dangerous heat as we head off into Friday. Still into that weather alert day, as the actual temperature 100 degrees and the heat index just 2 degrees cooler, but really not going to notice too much of a difference at 105 for that feels like temperature. Now, the next several days going to be very hot, but as we head throughout the overnight hours, still feeling very humid. Now, temperatures continue to cool down, but going to be a slower cool down throughout the overnight hours. By 7 p.m., 88 degrees, 8 p.m., 88, and by 9 p.m., 87 degrees. Eventually going to be topping back out to the mid-70s for the overnight low. But we're going to be tracking some chances of some scattered showers and storms too ahead. Taking a look at the ABC 17 Storm Track Future Track, looking at dangerous heat and dry conditions throughout much of the day Thursday. Looking at lunchtime there, noon, just seeing some partly cloudy skies. But as we head a little bit later into the evening hours, we could see a couple of isolated storms starting to pulse back up. This will continue as we head off into the early overnight hours, but off into Friday morning, going to be a drier commute. Just once again tracking some partly cloudy skies. Temperatures continue to soar once again above that 100-degree mark. And we're going to be looking at some scattered showers and storms beginning off to the north as a cold front will start to slide back into the region. Eventually, going to see increased coverage across much of central Missouri. This will bleed off as we head off into Saturday and Sunday. Now, the severe risk for Thursday evening with those isolated storms, for the most part, going to be a level 1 out of 5 for much of central Missouri, but off to the north towards Macon and northern portions of Monroe County and Sheraton, you're going to be seeing a level 2 out of 5. Main impacts on that is going to be some brief downpours, some gusty winds, and some isolated small hail. But these storms are going to be very isolated as we head throughout the afternoon hours into the evening. So really not looking at too much in terms of rainfall totals across much of central Missouri. Now, Friday night into this upcoming weekend, that's when we start to see increased coverage for those scattered showers and storms. That's due to a front kind of parking overhead with a low-pressure system that starts to lift as we head off into Sunday afternoon, but we're still looking at some more chances of some scattered showers and storms, even heading off into the 4th of July Tuesday. So if you have any outdoor plans, definitely going to be a good time to have the ABC 17 Storm Track weather app on your hand, and make sure you have your notifications turned on. Now, with these multiple systems, the next 7 days, rainfall totals not looking too impressive, looking at about up to 1 inch total. You're seeing some heavier bands of rainfall totals off to the north. That's actually tied to that front that's going to be parking overhead. That's driving some more showers and storms a little bit closer to the Iowa and Missouri border. Now, as we head off into the next several days after that, we're looking at some cooler temperatures. Not cooler than average, still warmer than average, but cooler than what we'll be seeing the next 2 days. Looking at an afternoon high of 91 degrees on Saturday, Sunday 82. And as we head off into next week, temperatures bumping back into the lower 90s.